We could stay here all
Yeah.
night.
Kind of a
Yes.
closing thought on this thing with, going ahead with these improvements and long-term plan, streetscape, the things to make the community really look better. It's probably going to take a paradigm shift in the city's thinking of how we're going to approach things. We just can't approach it from a minimalist standpoint of just saying, well, what's the minimum we can get by? Or here are, sure we're proud of the fact that, our assessment per $1,000 is as low as it's been in quite some time. Sure, we've got that down, but what we're going to have to do is shift our thinking and saying, okay, we can't just look at it as, okay, now we're down low, we're where we should be. We can't have a minimalist attitude of saying this is the minimum that we can get by and just get by and maybe perhaps ride some time out. We're going to have a paradigm shift of our thinking, communicate this to the public, communicate it to our citizens so that, and this will take time to build some consensus there that we're going forward with something if we really want to make that shift. And it's one thing to sure talk about it, but overall long-term planning, like Laura's talking about, and making things really happen, we're going to have to start thinking a little bit differently, not only as a city council, but as a whole city. And Barb's talked about, moving forward, and developing partners with like Chamber Main Street, planning and zoning, and whoever's involved. It's going to be a whole education process, and so I think, we have to start looking at as a group. And when I say paradigm shift, we're going to have to start thinking of how we're going to think differently about our community. I'd just like to share that with you.
I agree with that, Bill, 100%. And the same token, though, we also have to look at doing things different here in the city, too, in regards to how are we doing things, how are we looking at things. If we're going to change with some of these things, what can we as a city, not, the people that not only work here, the people that, either in maintenance or whatever, how can we do things different to reflect, our lowering that's going on right now, the population loss that we're experiencing. We can't keep doing things like we did 10 to 20 years ago.
And I think people are open to that if it's for the right reason and it's got the backing behind it and and it makes sense. I've been talking to some of the employees and saying, we have to take a look at this. We're not taking in any more money. We have to use our employees wisely. I don't think anybody's against really looking at and coming up with a plan that works. I don't think that you're going to run into, if it makes sense and it's operable that way, I think you'll get people to work together.
I just wanted to throw, because I along the same lines.
And kind of not only the state, but the whole country. It's a frank fact. You have to do more with less.
Absolutely.
And so, we're going to have to really look at our resources, very closely. And so